Let's be honest. The reason you're still watching videos like this isn't because you lack options, confidence, or value. It's because no one ever explained the quiet rules that actually govern loyalty in a woman's heart. Not the loud stuff, not the surface level advice, the real rules. So let's talk about one of the strongest indicators of loyalty you will ever see. And most men completely miss it. If a woman does one specific thing for you, consistently, without being asked, without pressure, without reward, that's not attraction. That's something deeper. You've been taught to measure loyalty the wrong way. By attraction, by attention, by how fast she replies, by how intense her emotions are. But all of those things are temporary. They change with mood, stress, and time. Loyalty doesn't. Because loyalty is quiet. It's behavioral. And if you don't know what to look for, you'll miss it completely. Here's the truth most men never hear. A woman can desire you deeply and still walk away. But when she feels emotionally safe with you, that's when loyalty begins. Not excitement, not dominance, not even love alone, safety. Not boring safety, but psychological safety. Where she doesn't feel like she has to perform, where she can relax without thinking about it, where she can be real without risking respect. And when that happens, something changes inside her. She starts regulating herself for the relationship. Not because you asked her to, not because she's afraid of losing you, not because she needs approval, but because being out of alignment with you feels wrong to her internally. That's the behavior. That's the signal. When she starts adjusting her actions, her reactions, her boundaries, naturally considering you even when you're not around, that's loyalty forming. And it shows up in small ways. She pauses before reacting in anger. She clears misunderstandings instead of escalating them. She protects the connection, even when no one is watching. She doesn't entertain attention that could damage what she feels with you. And the most important part? She doesn't announce it. Because real loyalty doesn't need applause. Now here's where most men go wrong. They see this, and they misunderstand it. They think, I've secured her. So they relax. They become careless, less attentive, less intentional. Or worse, they start testing her loyalty. And that's when everything starts to break. Because loyalty doesn't grow in comfort alone. It grows in consistent respect. A woman stays loyal when she feels three things: chosen without being owned, desired without being consumed, respected without being controlled. When she feels that balance, she invests deeper. But here's the part most men ignore. When a woman becomes loyal, she also becomes vulnerable. And vulnerability is risk. She's risking being taken for granted, being misunderstood, being hurt. At this stage, her loyalty is not permanent. It's forming, like wet cement. It can still be damaged if you step on it carelessly. And what she's watching now is not what you say. It's how you handle power, because power changes men. The moment a man realizes a woman is invested, he often shifts. He listens less, he explains more. He becomes reactive instead of grounded. He starts feeling entitled instead of intentional. And the moment she feels entitlement, loyalty starts to decay. Not loudly, quietly. Here's a hard truth. Women don't leave when they're angry. They leave when they feel unseen. So what does a loyal woman actually need? Not gifts, not constant reassurance, not big emotional speeches. She needs consistency of character. She needs to feel that the man she trusted is still the same man when things are comfortable, that you keep your word, that you stay calm in conflict, that you don't lose yourself just because you have her. Because loyalty doesn't come from fear of losing you. It comes from trust that staying with you doesn't cost her self-respect. When she feels that, something powerful happens. She stops scanning for exits. She stops testing. She settles. And when her mind settles, loyalty deepens. But if she starts feeling emotionally alone, even while she's with you, that's when loyalty begins to fade. Not suddenly, gradually. She shares less. She expects less. She pulls back. And from the outside, everything looks fine. But internally, she's detaching. That's why presence matters more than intensity. Not being there all the time, but being real when you are. You listen, you engage, you don't dismiss. Because those small moments tell her she still matters. Add emotional stability to that. You don't escalate problems, you ground them. You don't create chaos, you create clarity. And she stays. Gratitude matters too. Not just saying thank you, but actually noticing her effort. Because when her effort is seen, loyalty grows. When it's assumed, it fades. And one more thing most men overlook. A woman watches how you treat yourself. If you lack discipline, purpose, or direction, she feels like she has to carry emotional weight alone. That creates anxiety. And anxiety kills loyalty. But when you're grounded, when you manage your emotions, when you stay consistent in your own life, she relaxes. She feels like she's with a man, not a responsibility. That's why calm strength is so powerful. Not distance, not coldness. Control over yourself. Because loyalty isn't built through perfection. It's built through predictability. She knows who you are. She knows how you respond. She knows what you stand for. And that creates trust. And trust is where loyalty lives. At that point, she doesn't stay because she has to. She stays because leaving no longer makes sense. But remember this, loyalty doesn't disappear all at once. It erodes quietly, in small moments, when you think nothing important is happening. And by the time most men notice, it's already gone. So if you want loyalty that lasts, stop chasing it. Start becoming the kind of man who makes it feel natural. Because loyalty isn't something you demand, it's something she chooses, every day. And the real question isn't, is she loyal? The real question is, are you still the man worth being loyal to?